Well, I tried to video earlier. I've been up since 12:30, and I tried to do a video earlier. I got 17 minutes in, and it was like I couldn't think of what I was talking about. I couldn't remember people's names I was talking about. It was just like hitting a wall. And I saw after, because I kept going on TikTok. I've been on a rant on TikTok. And I've been feeling so sick, too. It's like, that is hard. Like, I can do a quick 1-minute video, but, oh, my God, to sit here and just keep talking when you feel so shitty. I am so fucking nauseated. My stomach is just so jacked, man. And the same thing is happening for Stella. And it looks like there's light, but it's totally dark outside. It's totally raining, totally dark. A plane flew over a minute ago. It was so freaking loud. Oh my gosh, I am so, whatever, the firmament's closing in on us. Like, oh, I should hurry up and just explode. And the people who can't handle it, go into other lives until you can. Because this is a fucking burnout, man. I've seen, there's so much stuff. Like, there's just so much stuff. Like, you couldn't even possibly cover it all. But, you know, I feel like all the things they're doing is making us so sick. I'm just so fucking burnt out. And I don't know if it's a new video or if it was the older one. You know, Russell Brand, before he was more of a progressive. And then he, like Joe Rogan, he got switched into being a conservative because he went against the narrative. And he is doing a video. I just saw somebody sharing about all of the poison that we're eating and stuff. So it's going more mainstream. You know, it's not so hidden where, you know, we can talk about it and talk about it. And I mean, there's still, it is so mental about, well, there's a lot of people who, you know, they support this trans agenda, and it's like, you need more information. If you're supporting, just like I just saw, oh, somebody sent me a message and said reincarnation isn't real. Oh my dude, are you fucking kidding me? And I bet you spent a lot of time looking into it, didn't you? I bet you spent years looking into it and really trying to understand, and then you determined, well, this just couldn't be real. No, these fucking people, they just believe whatever they're told. And then they'll go in and argue with people who have done research. It's like, oh my God, save your energy. I've got to save mine. I don't have time to deal with your fucking nonsense. It is, I'm, and I mean, people are totally showing themselves over the indictment. Like, I mean, the people who are so mindlessly want this person arrested, they don't even know why. They just want him arrested. They just cheer on, like, it is like, oh my God, where in the hell are we at the arena? Are we at the, what is that when they would pull in the people to sit there and battle to the death, and you'd have these people cheering on? It's like, it's mental. It's like, how far have you evolved? Like, did you skip a couple lives? Like, what are you doing here? Like, fuck, man. It's, I guess, you know, the low vibration people are to, you know, to make us see, make it more clear. Like, it is absurd. I can't even believe how hateful some of these people are. Even the guy who came in and he said reincarnation isn't real. And so I just did a response right then, because right then you can answer. And so I just did a response right then. I didn't even go in and look and see if he was a bot. I mean, it was such a ridiculous statement, in my opinion. And it was like, you may think, you know, reincarnation isn't real. That's up to you. But you should probably go look into it, not go and talk to somebody who does believe in it and go in and try and attack their beliefs. Like, fuck off. I'm so fucking sick of these people. So this, when I went in and looked, so I went and I did the recording. I said, you know, you probably should look into it before you go and start saying things. Otherwise, you just stay in ignorance. Like, it's, you know, I don't have time for your stupid ass anymore. And when I went in and looked at his page, oh my God, where are these people? Then there was another one, and he came in, and I had said something about, you know, the stuff I hear about boomers it's mind-boggling. Like, there's a video, oh, well, you know, this one woman, she needs a buffer. You know, they need a buffer generation between them and the boomers. It's just so much to deal with the boomers. I fucking flip that shit back on you, bitch. If there's a generational gap, whose responsibility is it to fix it? You notice there's something broken. Who do you want to fix it? Someone else? I'm so sick of these victims. I'm so sick of these people just, oh my God. And there's so many of them. There's so many. And so this guy came into my content and commented, and I said that was the most boomer thing to say. So I went in to look at his. I blocked him immediately. This guy was so nasty. He was disgusting. And he was, and the guy was probably like 45, 50 years old. I mean, this guy wasn't some fucking spring chicken or something. And he is he can't wait to see the guy fry. I was like, I can't even with these people with their ignorance anymore. It's like, you just are a product of your environment. Like, it's embarrassing. You're ignorant. You are shallow. It's just gross. I did a video talking about, like, Tinder, like Tinder, saying, you know, that people who, like, people just don't even have time for relationships anymore. They can't be bothered. They're just gonna run in like a fast food restaurant, run in, slam it out, and go on about their day. And, you know, we need, and look at our society is empty. People feel disconnected and stuff like that. So it was this whole video about it. And this person comes in and comments and says, it isn't about being fast. It's just about not liking people. I said, well, that's really gross. I mean, that's gross. I'm going to go in and sleep with somebody because I don't like them and I don't have time to get to know them. Like, people have gotten so disgusting and so gross. And then they think, like, that's progress. I mean, where we have to have a conversation, like, little boys can grow up to be women. They're going to grow up to be the women of the year. Where, you know, do we have all of these trans men in there going and becoming the man of the year? Like, it is absurd. This is a total attack on the feminine. And it is because we're in this time of change. And so they got to, and even with creation and stuff, you know, how they got all these women to be anti-creation. And yesterday I was thinking about, you know, how one of the things I was thinking about, and this is probably one of the reasons I'm so fucking drained, is I don't know what the fuck is in my goddamn house. I'm so fucking, oh my God, I'm so tired of it. Some giant black figure now is in my bedroom. And earlier when I did my video, and I couldn't remember Russell Brand's name, and I couldn't remember Joe Rogan's name. And I'm just sitting there trying to remember, you know, who these people were. And I'm like, and that is one of the things that people are talking about. This chemicals is creating a big fog. A lot of people are starting to have the effects of dementia or something. And so anyways, after I just stopped the video, I was just like, I just can't even, I'm sitting there staring. I'm just like, I can't even think. I can't function. I feel like shit. I don't feel good. And so I just turned off the video and just sat there kind of like, oh my God, just what the fuck am I doing? What the fuck am I doing? And all of a sudden, there was the loudest crash in my bathroom. It was so fucking loud. Every fucking thing. And I go in there, a picture that I had hanging on the wall flew down, and the shelf that I had all my little glass oils and all my little cream, you know, all my raw oils. Then it was mostly oils. So that crashes down, knocks them all. They go flying, breaking, oil everywhere, all this stuff. It's just like, man, this is one thing when they're in the kitchen knocking shit out of your hands. It's another one. It's just like, okay, this energy is like, and I've seen other people, you know, talking about like, I mean, we've got a lot of dark energy around us. I mean, this one in my bedroom is fucking huge. It's huge. And it just, I don't know. I'll try and get the energy to do some fucking saging or something, but I was at the point like, I don't know. This energy, we just got to break through. We got to break free of it. It's so goddamn. But I'll tell you another thing too is when I started doing the videos of the boomer situation. And, you know, that people need to, people just want to blame somebody else for their problems. Oh, well, you know, it's my toxic parent. It's like, well, notice if you're toxic. And so the one girl who, because she hasn't said anything else. And so I don't know, but she's definitely going to see those videos. And I'm definitely putting it on the victim. I mean, people, if you want your life to change, stop being a victim. Move out of being a victim. Move into being empowerment. Move into taking control, taking responsibility for yourself and how you feel. If you got a problem with somebody, take responsibility for it. You know, it's up to you to go and fix it. You don't have to put it on everybody else. Well, they're broken. Then what are you saying about yourself? Where's your fix it? Like, it's absurd. Like, all these people just stand around pointing to cameras, it's like everybody's just waiting for somebody to fuck up. It's like, wow, what a great place we live. Like, this is great. It's like, fuck, man. So fucking toxic. But the good news is, I guess, Paris is taking down BlackRock today. They're at BlackRock. All of fucking France is, they've showed up at the door and they're not having it. So thank you to all the people in France who see the enemy and are making it known, because it is, I don't know, there's so many people that just think it's all each other. I'm just beyond, like, where we have to still, you know, that people don't understand. The outside of you doesn't make the person. The color you are, the size you are, the age you are, the height, the weight, none of it has to do with who you are on the inside. Even where people, don't, like, I said something yesterday, I don't remember what it was, and immediately, you know, because I said it was about the gender misidentification situation, and it's like, nature doesn't make mistakes. Like, God, whatever you want to think it is, it doesn't make mistakes. And then, you know, I could hear somebody in my head, you know, right away, oh, well, if God doesn't make mistakes, then how do we have disabled children? How do we have deformed children? How do we have crippled children? How do we have all of this stuff? You know, they want to blame everything on God. I mean, they want to blame poverty, greed, ignorance, hate. It's all God's fault. Don't take responsibility for anything you do. And the thing is when you go and study reincarnation, that crazy thing that doesn't exist, then you find out that those bodies have a huge impact on society, and that people line up. Disabled bodies have lines for people to get into them. Like, all souls want to come in and do disabled bodies because of, it's a huge karmic clear. And you got to think about karma isn't just like, you know, you're not just racking up debt. You set things out of balance, and you got to bring them back into balance. You're always putting things out of balance, in balance, out of balance, in balance. Just like you have light and dark, just like we have to constantly find our balance in this entity that we are existing in, that we have to, you know, find our center, and it is in all things. And so, you know, people are just, a whole thing is, you see it every fucking day still. People are seriously, you'll go in and talk about something and their comment will be, don't worry, Jesus will be here soon. Jesus Christ. Oh, God. Especially when you see these people who were religious and have some, you know, they know some of the context in the Bible and stuff. And when they start explaining it as a metaphor and stuff, like, it makes so much more sense. Like the temple of God, like when you hear people explain the Christ is inside of you, you're waiting for Christ to come. Well, fucking better find him inside of you. If you're waiting for him to come, it's up to you to get him out. It's up to you to release him. It's inside of you. You know, all these people just sit back waiting and waiting. Somebody save me. Somebody save me. What do you need saving from? Like, I mean, right now we're going through hell. Man, it looks like there's just a big black, I can't see. My eyes are so bad right now. It has been so bad for weeks. But, you know, what do you need to be saved from? Yourself, your pain, you know, your trauma. Like, you have to go in and you have to face it. I just saw this video of this girl, a real pretty girl. She was really pretty. She looked like kind of like a younger Anna Nicole Smith, you know, just this like fresh, big cheeks and big blonde curly hair. And she looks like, I mean, she looked like, you know, Miss American dream girl for a lot of guys. And so she was talking about this. She just had gone from one abusive relationship into another abusive relationship. And now she's in a good relationship. But this guy, doesn't matter how good he is, she's just waiting for the ball to drop. She's just like, you know, I mean, he's going to do something. He's going to fuck up. He's going to do something. And so I went in and I messaged her. And when I read the comments, oh my God, this is the shallow fucking world. God damn, we live in a fucking shallow goddamn world. You know, oh, I'm so happy for you. You finally found a good one. And stuff like that. Like, the comments were, I mean, this girl was not going to find what she was looking for. I mean, she was really concerned, like, you know, I'm don't know what's wrong. And so I went in and commented, and then she came in and, you know, she said that helped her, that was good. But, you know, I said I was a relationship junkie, went from man to man to man, you know, and you got to have a break. You got to heal in between, and you got to process. And all these relationships bring up other stuff from your childhood, how you allow people to treat you. It brings up all this stuff, and you got to process it. So yeah, when you go from relationship to relationship, you're dragging all of them with you behind you. You're not going in fresh. You're not starting over. You are just, you know, you are the toxin. Like, she doesn't realize that she's the toxin. Like, this guy could be a great guy, but maybe she's not ready for him because she is still waiting for the ball to drop. So then she is going to be the one. Like, in that show I was watching that I was talking about with Shannon Doherty and William Devane. And this girl was, I mean, she was kind of textbook borderline. She was very dramatic. Things didn't go her way. She's going to kill herself. And, you know, she'd stomp off. You like people better than you like me. I need you. I love you. Like, it was just, you know, so much drama for this girl. And when the movie's playing out, you can just see, you know, her desperation. I kept seeing, like, her desperation, and that, you know, she needed help. She needed, I mean, she's having a real desperate life. And hers all goes back to having a dad who was a businessman who didn't have time for her. And I mean, all trauma comes from all different things, all different kinds of trauma, all different kinds of things are always playing out. And so she felt so rejected and abandoned. And so all in this relationship, everything starts coming up. And so this girl, you know, if she's got a good guy who is, she will probably end up being toxic to him, because she is going to have behaviors that are waiting for the ball to drop, waiting for something to go wrong. She's going to be defensive. She's going to, you know, you got to heal. You got to find your value. You got to find your worth. Then you're ready for a relationship. You know, she may be, you know, hopefully she can step up and she can heal, you know, but that's going to be a challenge to heal with this person in your life, because it messes with your head. You start thinking, you know, what's you and what's them, what's right and what's wrong. You become a lot more defined in who you are and what's right and wrong for you when you spend time by yourself and you go through and heal the relationships. And not everybody has to spend, you know, 6 years in celibacy and focused on healing. That is, you know, but I had decades of relationship junkie behavior. You know, I was toxic to myself. I was looking outside of me for somebody to make me feel better, somebody to fix my life. And, you know, you're not ever going to find your answers in somebody else. The answers all lie within ourselves. And one of the things, though, because Vortex was saying yesterday about the Palladians and stuff. And so, like, there's some stuff that, like, they don't talk as much about. I already feel like I'm so out there to a lot of people anyways. But, you know, I mean, I'm out there. So, because to me, let me finish this, it's getting cold. Oh yeah, and this is like my 4th or 5th cup of tea today. And I had gotten this, you know, over where they have like Naked or Bot House smoothies, those big drink things. There was one that was vanilla chai. And so I was like, oh, I'm going to get that one. And I drank a glass of it one of the days, and I was like, oh, that's really sweet. But then I put it in my tea, and I was like, oh, this is, I'm going to start doing this instead of creamer. I'm just going to go get those Naked. I think this one's Bot House vanilla chai. And it looks like milk or something, but it has some flavor. It's super sweet. You know, hopefully it's, I don't know. I mean, all this stuff is coming out. They're putting the M in all in everything now. Everything. So that could be why I'm getting sick. Like, I don't fucking know. I'm like, fuck. I feel like, my body is, oh my God, I can't believe how much everything is hurting. I couldn't even sleep. That's the reason I've been up since 12:30. My shoulder hurts so bad. And I get up and walk across the thing. My knee will give out. My ankle will give out. My wrist will start doing it. It's like, what in the hell is going on inside of me? Like, fuck. Oh my God, I'm so burnt out on this shit. Like, fuck. You know, if this is going to take me out, I wish it would fucking hurry up and do it. I don't think that that's what's going to happen, though. If that was my future, I think they'd be showing me. They don't show me that future. They show me the same future over and over and over. And they show me the same person. And every time I try and push that person away, they just come in more. And so, I don't know. I get this soul connection stuff. But, man, it's fucking tedious. You know, it's tedious when you can't even talk to somebody. And you have so much to talk about. And you can't even talk to them. It's just like, man, everything about me feels so silenced. And it's so crazy, too, because throughout my life, I was silent. I wouldn't talk. I was very withdrawn. And when I did talk, when I did say what I thought, I was always called crazy. I was always called weird. And so, you know, I was, I don't know, I was hidden, cut off, whatever. You know, I wasn't just comfortable being myself and stuff. And then I gotta think what I was saying. Just a bunch of things were coming into my head during that. Anyways, then when I get to the point of speaking my truth, speaking out, using my voice, doing my work, and healing my throat chakra, and begin speaking, you know, because I was going all through that when I started this this channel, and I talked about it in the beginning, and and there was lots of times when my voice was doing weird shit. Like, it was hard to break through that part. But then I break through it, and then I'm just held like in this place of silence. And it's just like, oh my God, it's mental. So mental. But anyways, there's this is also something silly, is I saw this person did this drawing and did the flat earth, did like just a pancake as the earth, and then did all the other planets as spinning balls. It's like, it isn't, people have got to see, it's not just like, there's nothing on the physical like what people think. Like, we're not flesh and blood. It's not just a pancake out there. It's like a stage. It's like a stage to come in and to experience yourself, to grow. And all around us is all these other systems, all these other places. And so, I don't know, when they sit there and tell us, Mars is this red planet, nobody lives there, whatever. I mean, you can go in and hear about the secret space program, and they're saying, oh yeah, there's a lot of shit going on Mars. So the moon, all these places that they say, there's a lot of stuff going on in all these places. And you don't have to fly out in space for weeks or months to get there. They're just over the ice wall. You just have to go through portals. And you have to, and portals are everywhere. Portals are all through the forest. And that's why they want to, that's why they make their concrete jungles and stuff. They're probably scared of the beings and stuff. And there's so much footage of like crazy shit people are catching now. All sorts of weird creatures and whatever, that Wendigo thing, and all sorts of weird creatures that people are capturing on what is that, like not just doorbell ringers, but also yard cameras and stuff like that. That one guy was saying he was dealing with all these Bigfoot. And the thing is, too, with the Bigfoot, I'm telling you, I'm so sick. You gotta, just sitting here, too, it's like, it's not just like little burps. No, it's like fucking, I just downed a fucking Pepsi or something. Like, I don't understand what is inside of me that is, I don't know. I was even thinking about maybe doing another turpentine one, but if it's all these bots and things like that, I don't know how you get rid of them. I don't know how you get them out of you. We're all full of them, and are they just going and putting themselves together inside of us, trying to take us over? Like, what the fuck? Damn, I'm so sick of this shit. Fuck, I'm so sick of this shit. So, hold on, let me finish this again. Hold on. So, anyways, so if you have, like I was saying, like if you went to the Pleiades, then you have a certain vibration. It is a vibration where all the beings of that vibration can reside in that place. But, and so all of the, and you got to realize too, is they've moved out of life and death. They've moved out of this density. They're not in this same density. That's why they can't just come zooming in here. You have to be birthed into it. It was when I was thinking about this, and yesterday it was something, And they were showing me, because this birthing thing, you know, how we are birthed into this reality, and you have to go through another person to be birthed into this reality. And there's so much more, I think, to the whole feminine energy that you're birthed into, and the experience and the generational lessons and stuff like that. Just like what I'm saying about these people who just say, oh, it's the boomers' fault. Oh, it's those boomers. Everything would be fine in this world if it weren't for those fucking boomers. It's like, if you got a problem with the boomers, it sounds like a personal problem. Like you got mommy, daddy issues or something, and you want to just keep blaming it on somebody else and not taking responsibility for your own growth, your own healing. And then you're going to stay stuck, because you have to go in and take responsibility for your healing. You cannot blame somebody else is holding you back, somebody else. And then plus, like I'm seeing a lot more people now starting to say, shutting all the people out of your life that you think are toxic or trigger you, that's not going to help you to heal. It's not going to help you to grow. Those people are in your life for a purpose. They're in your life to help you grow. So cutting them all off, who's going to make you grow? The person you go shopping in Walmart with, who you drink happy hour with, that's the person that's going to help you grow. So, I mean, if you choose not to grow and you just want to, you know, focus on what makes you feel good all the time, then I guess, you know, you'll find out what that lesson is. And you'll find out what you learn when you cross over, and you'll see for yourself. It's not like... But we're not all here for the same reason. I mean, not everybody's here to ascend. I mean, that's clear. Even if everybody is here to, you know, evolve, there is still way more work to put into, you know, ascending into spirituality, into enlightenment, into really doing your healing, into this other state of being. This seems far-fetched, apparently, to most people. But anyways, so if you consider that we're under the firmament, and what people think of like just a pancake or something, no, it's a whole fucking toroidal field. It's like a donut, and it has layers. And we are on the top, and the donut hole is tiny. I mean, it's not, you know, like we just have the edges. You know, it is, but it's the same thing. The energy rotates through. The poles are above and below. They aren't next to each other. They're like this. And the AC/DC, the energy is going through it. And that it conducts the possibility for us to be able to come here and experience, because of the electronic field makes it so that we can project ourselves into, so it is like a real stage. It's a real place that you can go to experience. Well, I say real, like nothing's real in the sense of what we used to think real was. Like you can't hold it and put it in your pocket. Nothing really exists. The only thing that really exists is you and what you do with you. That really exists, but everything else doesn't really exist. And so there is, but there is this projection that your higher self does to go into. It is so much just like checking out library books and reading a story. Only we project ourselves into the story. We project ourselves into the experience so we can watch ourselves, so we can witness ourselves, so we can understand ourselves, so we can see who and what we are. Because it's hard to understand when we're just in our thoughts. As a higher self, you are, as energy, you are just a thought. You're just an energy. So you are an energetic thought of a complex line of thought. You're not just one thought. You are complex. And the more that you identify yourself, the more you become identifiable. Like there's more to you. That is the growth of the soul. So when you project yourself in, you know, check out a library book, read it, and try and put yourself into the situation so you can grow and expand and understand. And we're always looking to grow in love, compassion, and empathy. And so when you, you know, check out the book or go in and experience the life and see, and then plus there's like so much more to it, because there's a whole, I mean, it's like a whole thing. It is what life is. You know, life is you as your being projecting in to experience itself, and then everybody coming in and experience themselves and playing different roles, playing different parts. And that is the main stage. Around the stage is all sorts of different places and planets. And when you go to the different ones, it's not a mix like how it is here. There's a reason why it's a mix here. There's a reason it's under the firmament. It is to hold the energy. And there's a reason why it's an experiment. And there's a reason why we all look different from one another. And we all have different philosophies and stuff. Is so we can come together. It's like they took us all and forced us into under the glass and said, get along, and then you can come out. But it's not like, and nothing is really a force. I mean, you choose, you come in. But then, you know, just like when it gets frustrating, you can't just like leave. You're kind of stuck. You're stuck for whatever you're contracted in to do. Whatever you are here for. You got to stay till you do it. You can't just leave because things get hard or things suck or whatever. Somebody you love leaves and you want to go with them. No, you have to stay and finish your part. And so, you know, whatever it is that you came to play. And you come and play all different parts. I mean, you got to think about, like, this is eternity that we're doing this. So, you know, we do need the stage to change. We need resets. We need things to change. I mean, how many times can you go in and play the same thing? You know, it's got to always be changing. That is a part of growth. That is a part of nature. That is a part of how things move. It changes all the time. And so when you have these people in these other places, like the Pleiadians, the Andromeda, all of these places, those people are all higher frequency. Like, they don't die anymore. They aren't on a stage like we are. They aren't having, like, they can be where they are, go into a meditation, because it is the same. It is like when you are consciousness. So when you are just your energy, you're just energy. You can go into, you know, it's like, it's not like you're birthed in to stuff. It is based on your frequency. So you would have to be the same frequency as the other people in the Pleiades. Like, you have to be in alignment with them in order to be in that realm. The same with Andromeda, all the different places. You have to be in alignment with them to be in that realm. You have to be on the same vibration. But you don't have to get just birthed in the same as like this. You can, I think you can just will yourself. Like, you can just, your energy, and you are of the same frequency as the Pleiadians. And, you know, which is a high frequency. And they have a whole thing with us. Like, there's a reason. Like, they are, I heard, I don't know, 70, 90%. Like, most of the star seeds or whatever, most of the beings that are here that are trying to help humanity are Pleiadians, because there's a long history with the Pleiadians. And they couldn't just come and step in. And it goes back to the Anunnaki or something. It goes back to that time. And it was some decisions that the Pleiadians made. And so then they wanted to go back in and fix their mistake. Like, they saw it as like, oh, we shouldn't have done that. We want to fix it. I mean, you can't just go in and fix it. You have to let things play out. And so, and remember that everything you do, you are collecting that karmic debt. So when they put things out of balance for here, see, then they have that debt. It is like they have a responsibility to put it back into order. And because time is about how things change and grow, then you have to wait. You can't just, like, they couldn't just zip in and go, hey, wait, we're going to change this real quick. No, they had to. And so there's been a huge frustration, I guess, for them, because they've wanted to help us, you know, get out of this trap or whatever. And then there was the whole thing. I think that is where people started thinking like angels were coming and stuff. It has been these people that they're like light beings. They're very light. They're kind of white looking, and they have whitish hair, and they're tall and thin, like kind of like the whites, only I think the whites are even I think the whites are more like see-through or something. But a lot of these light being kind of people, they it's just it's I think it's hard for us to understand, because we think of incarnation as being like a live body that's flesh and blood and going to a place and stuff like that, when it isn't. It's just like thought. And so but all of the Palladian people, then when this whole thing started, I swear to God, where this whole thing started with the ascension or the change or whatever, when this call went out that Dolores Cannon talked about, that a lot of beings came from that dimension, that vibration, that you know, that came back to want to help. And so lots and lots of people are from that vibration. I think that's why so many people, you know, they feel like they're earth angels and stuff, because, you know, those of us who came from these other places, we have an understanding of things that are obviously new to some of these people, like, or that they just don't remember. And so it's bringing in information to help expand people. But see, people have to be open to expansion. Otherwise, you're closed off and you are holding yourself back. Like, when I hear these people come in and say stuff to me, it's like you're keeping yourself in the cage of ignorance, you know, by simply not looking into things, not thinking outside of the box. But there's a lot of people who will keep themselves in a cage of ignorance, because that feels more safe, and they don't realize how judgy they are. But anyways, so the people who are in these other realms is the same thing as like your higher self is projecting you into here. So your higher self, like the Palladian person, would be their higher self. So they already are their higher self. So they are living in an experience in the Pleiades with all of their soul family or whatever, the people who vibe with them, so that they don't just stay out in the ethers and they're just a thought. Instead, they go in and they man, some stuff, like, you can see it, but it's so hard to explain. And then some of the times, like, because I see it, then I'm just like, okay, well, I get it. But then it's like, well, I gotta try and it's so hard to explain, because I think it's either you just get it or you don't get it. Or, you know, if you don't get it yet, I mean, it's like a seed is planted, I guess. But anyways, so if the beings in the Pleiades, like, I think that is why, you know, a lot of us feel like we know each other and stuff, because we have come from this other place, like, where we are hanging out together. And then you get birthed into this one, but you are still there in the other one. You haven't left that one. It's just like you are asleep. You're focused on this one. And then when you die from this one, your being in the Pleiades or wherever you are will wake up. And, you know, and then, I don't know, probably have a party. I feel like so excited. And all the people who are still there are sitting around watching. And I think a lot of them are, that's who, you know, sits and talks to me and sends me messages. That's what I think. You know, I when I was little, a little kid, and they were telling me about alien stuff and, you know, about all the things that they would tell me when I was a kid. And I don't know, it wasn't ever like there was a division. It wasn't like these beings are separate from me. It was like, it made me realize, like, I just come from where these beings are. Like, we all come from the same place. So, and because even when you go into like higher vibration, where people keep like, oh, 4D, 5D and all that stuff, the vibration and 4D, 5D and stuff, that is a state of mind. It is how you look at things. It's how you perceive. It isn't like you go someplace else. It's all by perception. And so it is the same thing as when you go up in the vibration. So when you go out of this place, so in this place, you know, like we're in the middle is more in this stage. And then you have all of these stars and places all around us, but it's not like out in space. It's like we're in an ocean. And it is like we're in a bubble in this ocean, and the bubble's gonna pop, but all around us is all these other beings that, you know, they come into here too. These people aren't separate from us. There's a lot of people who come from all these places. They have lives in these other places. There's somebody who I was talking to, and she was really good with her meditation. She was really good. Like, she had crazy meditations. But a lot of times in her meditation, she would go back and report about things here. She would go back to this like committee and these people, this board from where she's from, and she would report back about things here, because where she's from, they didn't have any of these experiences, and these experiences are very difficult. And so the people from where she's from, you know, it's like she's the soldier, she's the warrior, she's the one that came into experience, and then tell them. So then they can be like, well, I don't know, should we try it? You know, how's the water? What's it like there? You know, there's a lot of beings who, you know, every reality, I mean, we are the creators of the realities. So when we go outside of this experience, outside of this body, and we go back to the ethers out there, and we, you know, we go back to our body, or we just go back to being air or whatever, and go spend time with our people or whatever the case may be. Our people, our group, we could go and just create our own reality. We could go make our own planet, and we could all go and live there. Like, that is what we can do. Like, all these places are places that we create, that we make, so that we can go and experience. And so, you know, the Syrians and all these different beings are all beings that, you know, souls created to go in and experience. Then most of the beings that, you know, where we think of, some are humanoids, some are feline, some are all these different kinds of things, insectoids or whatever, all these different things, they are that being for the environment. It's all based on the environment. What do they need? Like, do they need a mouth to be able to eat? Do they need to get energy that way? Like, everything is figured out. Nothing is by accident. We are the creators of all things. And so people are just very limited in their understanding and, you know, how they perceive this world and stuff. But, you know, when you go like to the Pleiades, there's going to be a lot of fucking earthlings there, I think, soon. But a lot of people will be there talking about that experience. But it's like the souls, the light beings created a heaven, a place to go in and experience. So then they create a body to experience it in. But it's not like the same as here, where you have to be birthed into the game. So I don't know. I don't know if that is making any sense. But there isn't division in these multidimensional beings. We are the multidimensional beings. We are these beings that people are so scared of. We are those. And I don't know, you know, when you're talking about like this big ass dark energy that is in my bedroom, and the ones that are just been all, I just feel like I've just been being harassed. Like these fucking, and I don't know if she brought some when she came, and I had just seen somebody else doing some kind of it's not like an exorcism. It was like at a revival or something. And some guy started saying a bunch of stuff. I couldn't even hear what the hell he was saying. But the woman who was talking started saying he had demons in him since he was 3 years old. As soon as he started being abused, the demons came. That's what I've been fucking saying to people. Like when abuse starts for somebody, right away, there's negative and positive beings. But it depends on which you hold on to, which you put your energy towards. And the negative beings are intoxicating. They make you feel powerful. So if you feel weak and you feel bullied, then this being that is in there feeding you information that you think is just you thinking, but it's really an attachment. And there's people who have been carrying these around for their whole lives. They have become partners with these beings, and they don't realize that these beings can be directing you to negative things, and you know, the things that are going to benefit them. And you know, and a lot of them want to keep you separate, so they're going to make sure you stay separate. So there's a whole thing of recognizing, you know, who's talking to you and thinking about what they're saying to you. You know, if they're talking negative about other people and stuff, then they're a negative being. They're of the darkness. When they are trying to help you to see more clearly, take responsibility, be more loving and stuff, that's the light. And if you've got both, you can recognize the difference. You know, I think a lot of people just really tune into the negative, because when you're a victim of abuse, when you're a little kid and you feel so beat down and abused, and, you know, some energy coming in who's there to rescue you and, you know, just talk shit about this other person and stuff, then it is going to make you feel more powerful. And so you feed that energy. So, you know, there's a lot of people who have been feeding. It's just so crazy too, is because that would be what you would consider a demon, like where you sit there and think like there's demons here and stuff like that. But you're the one creating the demon, because you're feeding that dark energy. So you got to recognize, and you got to push it away. You know, you got to tell it to just go. You don't want to hear what it has to say. I'm fucking constantly telling, you know, shut the fuck up. I don't want to hear your negative shit. And it's, you got to catch it too, because they'll just sit there whispering and whispering, and you won't even, sometimes you can be doing something and you won't even realize that they're just sitting there talking shit. And, you know, you got to recognize, because they'll just bring you down. It's a toxic energy, and you want to get rid of that stuff. You want to let it go. But, you know, that's another thing more people are recognizing, is about, you know, you do attach to certain energies when you go through abuse. And, you know, it draws in, pain draws in certain entities. And so, and a lot of that is free energy. It's just energy. And it isn't a formed conscious being, like what people think. You are creating the demon. You're creating it by giving it energy. But a lot of people don't even realize that they have these attachments around them. They just think like they're just thinking. And then a lot of people have such toxic thoughts that they even beat themselves up over that. You got to realize it's not you. You're just not making up thoughts. No, you have beings around you that are talking to you all the time, putting messages in your head and, talking shit. And especially if you are, like, I don't even think of myself as being low vibration, and they're still around. I still got this big ass fucking, I don't even know what the hell that thing is down in my bedroom. Just the other night I saw it. It was freaking huge. Just this big black, and I just like ignore it. I don't know. I go to sleep and it's just sitting there. I don't know. Maybe it's an energy to just sit there and protect me. I don't feel a threat from it, but I can sure the fuck see it. Just like I can see the ones when I go walking down the hall that come rushing up in my face. And, but I don't feel a threat. I don't feel a threat by any of them. So, I don't know. It just is exhausting. It's even if, no matter what, just seeing things running around your house, having things fall out, have things fly off the walls and shit, it's exhausting. Even if you aren't scared of every little fucking thing, it's mentally exhausting. And, I feel like that there's a lot of this energy is just trying to beat us down. And, and I think that the reason why they're trying to beat us down is because we are at this big time of change. And it is really like, this is like, we're at the end of the race. And we're just like barely trying to get across the finish line. And they're, throwing everything down, throwing tax down, throwing everything down to make it harder for us to cross. And, everything has to do with resilience. It has to do with that get up and go. No matter how many times you get knocked down, you got to just get the fuck up and just keep on going. Because giving up isn't an option. Like, what do you do when you give up? You're just going to go sit in a corner and wait for your life to be over? You got to keep going until it's ended. Until the game is completed. It's up to you to keep on going and pull yourself up. And if you get knocked down and it's just so hard to get up, allow yourself the time to be knocked down. Allow yourself the time to be down. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be up all the time. You can, that's the process of healing. You gotta be down sometimes. You gotta let things go. You gotta process. You can't always be high. You can't always be going. But every time that, the things knock you down, it is up to you. Nobody else is going to come in and scoop you up. And if somebody does, they're not going to do it endlessly. At some point, you will become a burden. You'll become an energy vampire to them. Because nobody can keep coming in and picking you up and propping you back up in life. It's up to us to find that inside of us. And it's hard when you're just beat down and knocked down over and over and over. And especially right now, like that is what is going on. Everything is being ripped away from people so that they can recognize what's important. So many people dedicated all their time and energy into something that wasn't real. And so, there's a lot that has to be seen. And I don't know. It's very curious at this point to see, like, how this is going to play out. I still 100% think that something big is going to go on. Everything's going to turn the other direction. I mean, everything is like right there. Like, even with the stuff, with all of the stuff against Trump, it was all, now all these things they said, well, all of a sudden it's so boom. So see, and he's trying to escape. And that was written in the cute thing in 2018 that he was going to do that. These people who think that that stuff was a psyop or not real or a cult or something, it's like, no, it was these people are looking in the looking glass. They knew what was going to happen. That's what I think. And so, You know, I knew when they're going after, especially a certain person, it's always to show somebody else's crimes. Somebody else's crimes are always like, well, this is the first president who's ever had this. Well, now we're going to see which ones really were the criminals. It's already come. I mean, Joe and, you know, whatever his name is, Obama guy, they're fucking criminal as can be. So, yeah, you know, we'll see. I think that both of them have already been, they're both already gone, I think. I don't think that they're letting that's not the real guy out there. You know, I don't know if it's CGI, if it's clone, if it's a lookalike. Even the other day, or today, somebody was showing a picture of Trump, and it was the same day. So it was like he went to the indictment, and then he went to go be interviewed or something like that. And somehow his hair changed colors. One of them, he's got brown hair, and another one, he's got silver hair or something like that. But I mean, his hair, when he goes and he does that big silver hair, that is in the gold hair, it's all, it's like subliminal messages that he's always putting out there. And he's been doing it since 2020, of, you know, reminding us, you know, gold and silver, gold and silver. But anyways, even Trump isn't just one person. Like, these people have stand-ins, lookalikes, all this stuff. And who knows if they're clones. I mean, Kevin Hart says he's got a whole bunch of clones. Like, he's got one to go clean the house, one to go cook dinner, one to go date. I mean, I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. Only thing I do know is this world is not what people think it is. It's very different than people think. And people aren't going to see the truth until they open their mind and are willing to let in more information than what they've understood before. So anyways, you know, things are going to keep going. We're going to keep getting sick until something goes. But, I mean, we got the leadership thing, the money thing. There's so much stuff right now. And any of that stuff can flip everything to go the other direction real quick. And then, you know, it's going to be let's just see. Let's see. You know, what people will be able to heal. What people will be able to get over themselves. What people will be able to see the truth. It's all remains to be seen, I guess. Because I'm shocked. I'm literally shocked at how determined some people are to be hateful and judgmental and divisive. So, I don't know. We'll see how it all plays out. So, I'll talk to you later. Bye.